and welcome to B2B World. A very happy Eid to all of our viewers. I'm Sana Makpool and with me is Faisal Rahman. Happy Eid, Faisal.
Assalamu alaikum and happy Eid to you.
How's your Eid going so far?
Pretty okay. I mean, as long as, I got a call from Hanan that we have to do a live, not live, but a recorded show for Eid. So yeah, all is well. So we are here for that.
All right. And of course, this Eid, there's going to be lots of meat and I heard you're a big fan. Are you?
As far as eating is concerned,
not
a big eater
really?
at all, but I love to cook. You know that, right? So
interesting. So you cook, but you don't eat.
I do eat, but I love to cook. I mean, that's a passion kind of a thing.
Okay, I think I'm the opposite. I would love to eat, but I'm not so sure about how to cook meat. But this Eid, hopefully, I'll be getting lots of meat, and so is all of our viewers and all of our friends and family. It'll be great to get together once again this Eid. And of course, more than just that, this Eid is a lot about sacrifice, and that's really the essence of this Eid. And I really hope that people actually remember that, because ultimately, people forget about that. It's become so commercial. It's just it's such a competition that it sort of doesn't really get to that sense of sacrifice anymore.
Because interestingly, during the last 2-3 years, what we have gone through, this COVID-19 pandemic, things have changed a lot. We used to always bring animals to our home and then slaughter them and then, make sure that, it goes to the right people. And on the first day,
But even then, I don't think people really.
But now we order.
Love
we order. I mean, online. We'll just check out goats and everything, and just place an order, give the payment, and they'll tell you about the time, and they're gonna send that meat in packets. So it's much more convenient also. But I think the real essence, unfortunately, that's gone away.
Right, and so we'll hopefully talk a bit about rekindling that spirit of Eid once again and bringing that joy back to our festivals and a lot of celebrations that are, of course, due this Eid. And with Eid, of course, Faisal on B2B World is always special to spend time with our viewers and, of course, our guests also who take the time out on their Eid to come and celebrate with us and with all of our viewers as well. So it's really nice that we have 3 very special guests today.
Okay, there you go. Introduce them.
All right, we have with us, first of all, Dr. BAREERA BUKHARI, who's a dentist and a social activist. Thank you, BAREERA, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Eid Mubarak.
Thank you so much.
And we've also been joined by ABDULLAH DEOL. He's a water scientist of UNESCO, working on a $3 billion project named Recharge Pakistan.
$3 billion project named Recharge Pakistan. All right, that would be very interesting to know what exactly it is about, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I will let you know. Well, thank you for having me here.
And Eid Mubarak to you. Let me also welcome in the studios Ms. SHIREEN Alam. She's a women activist and a professor of English. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you for inviting me on the show.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak, especially taking out the time on Eid day. I mean, that's a big deal.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So let's start with what essentially a traditional Eid sounds like at your homes. What does it really mean? How is it? Because everyone has different Eids, so I'd love to know how you spend your usual Eids. BAREERA?
Well, like I said, just before the show started, I was telling you before that I just love to cook for my family. We get a lot of meat, and we have a joint family. A lot of us live together, so it's more like I send my aunts my cooking, they send me theirs, and we just exchange feasts. Okay. And it's really fun for all of the family to get together one day and just, take time off from work, let the pressures of the rest of the year go, and just eat and laugh about things that went wrong, things that are about to go wrong, and just have a good time.
And the best part about joint living is that you end up spending time with your close ones, It's very rare these days.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great time to be together and celebrate such a festivity.
Yes, if not an Eid, then when, right?
Exactly.
What's your special dish?
Oh, I do a Ran roast that my family demands every year.
Is there like a special trick to it?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you. Why would I do that?
Use yogurt or do you use this...
Getting warmer.
Vinegar.
Yes, getting warmer, getting closer. Absolutely. I said that in front of a chef.
Because if you taste, you can tell exactly, what sort of ingredients have been used there,
Yes, exactly. And
But that's a specialty. I mean, everybody can't make a proper roast, like the tender one that,
Oh, yes,
separates.
it's supposed to just melt in, like butter.
The fibers, you just pick them up and
yes,
there you
exactly.
Yeah, if you can't share the secret recipe, maybe you can just bring the dish next time and we can get to taste it.
Yes,
that would be good.
That's a good idea. That's a good way to tempt them to call me back in next year.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
Yeah, well, I think this Eid is more of a responsibility for men. I think in this Eid, women have more free time for themselves. unless and until
That's
the meat
not
is done.
true. There's
Unless
a lot
and
of
until
work.
the meat is done.
Yeah.
Let me get to that part.
Okay.
First, in the morning we wake up. So this might be my Eid clothes right now, but in the morning I think I was just wearing the vest and with the knife and running after the goat and the sheep.
You
and
do it
everything.
yourself?
Yeah, we have this tradition that we try to do it ourselves. And
Oh, really?
Try to do it, or you properly do it?
I mean,
Because it's
I
an
have
art,
the whole,
basically, you know?
Yeah, it's an art. I don't know, but you know, the first cut that you put when you're doing
the takbir,
it.
that's
Yeah, the
what we
takbir
call it.
thing,
Yeah.
you should do it. Like you said, that spirit is not there at the moment, and I'm just trying to stick to that sunnah, the real sunnah, which is the real teaching it is. So yeah, we do that, and then of course the butcher is doing the rest of the thing. Then we collect it, and people come because we go to village side and we do there, and there's a lot of needy people where we just divide all those. And I don't eat much. I just eat 100 grams or 150 grams, where it is like.
Why so calculated?
Yeah, because yeah, I'm gonna tell you, because our body is not gonna take more than 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So the rest gonna stay inside, and it's just gonna raise my cholesterol level. And I'm pretty sure the next day doctors are not open to
now this
save
is
me
the
and
effect
help
of the
me. So I
wildlife,
think
right?
Yeah.
so
No, but that's great. That's
yeah,
great.
I
People
think
are not conscious
yeah,
about
the
that.
body's not gonna accept it. So instead of just eating it all at the same time, why don't we just store it and then eat it later? That will be better, because your body can accept the protein. You can grow some muscles, which maybe
But
I
it's so
will
hard to
later.
stop.
Yeah, that's true. But
Because it's all about
How do you
meat,
do it?
you know, on this.
but I think
Everyone's offering
this
you the
is
same
not
dishes,
just
you
about the meat. It's also about sacrificing what you loved. If you look at the story, the order was to sacrifice Ismail, the son of the Prophet itself. And also it teaches us to trust Allah, because he said, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my son, but at the same time he trusted Allah. And Allah said, no, you're not gonna sacrifice your son. It was a test. And yes, your trust in me was true. I'm not taking the life of your son. There's the sheep, sacrifice.
And the
it.
tradition started.
And the tradition started. The tradition of sacrificing the most beloved thing for the religion of Islam, and also putting your trust in Allah. That's how it is. That's how I see this Eid,
That's
basically.
amazing.
But you know, it's not really the sacrifice of the most beloved thing. In fact, it's not even the sacrifice of something beloved, because nobody really feels that way about the animal they're sacrificing.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the story that it was the son.
Yeah,
Basically, he went there.
I
So that's what I'm
absolutely
saying. I
understand
totally
that.
agree.
Yes.
This Eid is okay. This one part where we
Yeah.
have to sacrifice an animal to think about the needy people and everything, so that they get to eat meat, and it's just a tradition. But the basic story is to sacrifice the most beloved thing. Basically, Prophet Ibrahim went there to sacrifice his son, the most beloved thing that he had. I think this is the secret that we have forgotten.
Yeah.
And instead, I see that all the time on this Eid in Lahore and other cities. People have this silencer out and making noise.
That's the way to celebrate. That's part of the culture. So religion is slightly different
so I
than
think
what
the real thing is getting
even
blurred
with the
nowadays.
animals,
We should be
even when you end
careful
up
of
winning a cricket match, this is what you do.
Make some noise.
What
right?
else? What else?
I mean, that is different, but the true spirit should be reminded to people. That's what I'm saying.
For sure. Even with the animals, it's become like a
Now-
race or a
Yeah.
competition. Yes,
At my
Sri.
place, it's very different because I come from two different cultures. Like my mother, she's Sri Lankan, and my
Oh,
father, he's
interestingly.
Pakistani.
No wonder
So-
you're in a beautiful bathing sari. You
Oh,
know?
thank you so much. Thank you. So, you know, to my plate's really overwhelming. Like in the morning, it's like something very different. We have the Sri Lankan food and we have the Pakistani food on another side. So it's like lots of various things we get to eat. Even the food that we cook over there, like Pakistani and Sri Lankan dishes are quite different. So,
in fact, about 2 years ago, I went to Sri Lanka. We were going to Maldives, so on the way we stopped. That Maheen airline, which Sri Lankans use, so from Lahore all the way to Colombo. And one of the places which was owned by one of the known cricketers out there, they serve seafood, and I think that was the best seafood I've ever tasted.
Oh, really?
I
Sri
swear.
Lankan food
I
are
think
What
the best.
exactly is the cuisine like? I've never had it, so what's the flavor like?
They're quite
The crab and
savory and
everything.
spicy, but they add in lots of like curry leaves and they add in lots of like coconut milk. So that's what mainly the food is like made.
Even
with. Usually
spicy
the
as
food,
well.
yeah, and usually the food is like made with coconut oil. So that's it like tastes very different over there.
Like coconut curries. I love them.
Yeah, that's very tasty. And they were healthy as well.
Yeah.
And very nice people, very loving, very
mellow.
You're very mellow.
Very simple.
Very educated.
Yes, so that's
everyone is.
That's 95%
exactly.
literacy rate.
Is there anything else different about your Eid other than the food?
It's just like, of course, the families we go, we have kids around, so it's like a huge big party at the home, you know, and the sacrifice is always there. So it's very overwhelming. It's really exciting over here.
That's
so being
great.
new to Pakistan, because I've just recently moved to Pakistan.
Okay.
So it's something really exciting because we lived all our lives in KSA in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So, you know, coming back to Pakistan after so many years and celebrating is something really cool for us.
So is that a cultural shock for you? How do you feel?
The cultural shock was at the beginning when I came in, yes, definitely. For the kids especially, my kids, because they were born there. So what is this place? What is that? They see a cow on the street and they're like, why it's over here?
I can completely relate to that.
Oh, you can? Why is that?
Yeah, because I was born in Birmingham and I came to Pakistan in like 2005.
Oh,
Right.
So I found it fascinating that there were animals on the road.
Oh, yes.
It was just astonishing to me.
Have you gotten used to it now?
Yes, it's still taking some use to because I live quite far and I have to like drive back home. So, you know, sometimes there's a camel, sometimes there's a cow. It keeps me guessing.
And goats.
And
Yes,
even
a
lot
besides
of stray
Eid, right?
cats and
Like, so they're
dogs.
there anyway.
Yeah, like there these, you know, animal markets on
Yeah.
the way, 2-3 of them I have to cross on the way home. So on Eid days, there's always a surprise on the road for me. Sometimes a buffalo crossing.
Yeah, we usually miss these things, you know, over there. We don't get to go that Bakra Mandi and all that over there. There's nothing like that over there. So, you know, coming back to your roots, it's really nice.
So being a Lankan, living in KSA, and finally moving to Pakistan. I mean, it's a very interesting triangle, by the way.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
With lots of mashallah.
What
good
sort of
experiences,
cultural shocks you went through?
Well, in the beginning, because my childhood was all in KSA. We used to come and go to Sri Lanka and in Pakistan as well. So it wasn't that big cultural shock, yes, but moving permanently to Pakistan was a huge shock for me.
How are you adjusting so far?
It's been good, alhamdulillah, mashallah. Not that bad, yes, but it's been good. Adjusting
That's
still, yeah.
Good.
Wonderful. Another thing that we keep talking about on our Eid shows is how Eid is really different now than it used to be when we were much younger.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things that we remember from our previous Eids when we were children, and understand that obviously essentially it will be different since we're grown up. But even the kind of traditions that now we experience are perhaps not the same. Do you see any difference, BAREERA?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's something that you mentioned earlier. You said that it's not about sacrifice anymore, right? So when we were children, our dad would have us go through a certain sort of ritual. He would tell us that you buy the animal a while before the sacrificial day, and then you get attached to it. We, as kids, you know how kids are, we get attached to animals very quickly, we name it, we, you know, comb its hair, we take care of it, we bond with it, we used to take it on walks and everything, and you know, and then would come the sacrifice day and we would have to give that all up. So it taught us to let go of something that was really important to us for the greater good. That would be like feeding the needy or you know, giving money to charity.
Absolutely.
And I think these days, yes, you're right, it's become a little bit more of a competition to see who has the biggest bull or the most number of cattle. But in a way, people are still sacrificing a large sum of their money to do something, to feed people. And I think there's still something
And I'm sure
in
Pakistan
That's great.
should
That's
be
actually
among
one
one
of
of
the
these
point.
top countries as far as sacrifice is concerned. Yeah.
And it's great because honestly, I think even generally the citizens are very charitable. So
Yeah, that's
there's
number
a lot
one in
of-
that.
There's a lot of essence of charity and sacrifice there. But you're right, that kind of inculcating that spirit in children especially, I think that's really important. Perhaps we need to revise that once again. Abdullah, what about you? What about your childhood memories of Eid?
Yeah, kind of the same, of course.
Yeah.
Just taking my sheep outside and just having the races and showing to
I'm
the
glad to know I
friends
wasn't the
and-
only one doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I was
something
too.
As kids, we all-
tradition that is
we
It
all
was
have
so
done it.
hard. It was so hard.
And
It was
sometimes I'm like, I was saying to my father, can you just go and buy another one? Maybe we don't sacrifice this
Yeah,
one, sacrifice
exactly,
another
yeah.
So you
one.
get that bond with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And I think this is the part where I was saying that the thing to let go that you love. So you actually kind of get used to it. And at that time we couldn't understand, and sometimes I had tears like,
me
oh, my
too.
favorite
Yes.
sheep is sacrificing, and I'm like, no mom, I don't want to eat, you kill my goat, I'm not gonna eat this.
Yeah.
So there was this kind of expression at that time, but I think later on you understand what is the real meaning and
you know, the interesting part is that maybe it's my fault or I don't know. We were so excited. You know, we used to go and see what's going on around the neighborhood, you know, when the animals were being slaughtered.
Yeah.
So my younger kid, you know, so I was trying to be a proper genuine Muslim. So I said, listen, come here, I'll show you something. And he was 6 years old and he was shocked.
Okay.
And he hates me for that.
You know, I was just going to come to that. What's the age? What's the right age to teach your children?
Yeah, I am not sure.
So I've become
a father, but I haven't
actually. It's the first time I heard this question. I don't even know if people think about it. Because we know for namaz, for roza, but I never thought about what is the right age.
You know, it's a very interesting question actually, because to be very honest, I've got no clue. But I think a kid should be mature enough to understand. And it's surely the duty of the parents, number one, and then the teachers. You know, they should also teach them in Islam that this is the way it is, because nowadays kids are so associated with various characters and, you know, even the animals, because I'm an animal lover, and my little son about 3-4 weeks ago went to see a movie along with his friends, and they ended up seeing a little puppy somewhere in a gutter, and he called me up on the video call and said, please, can I bring him or her, no idea what it was, to home. And like, it was literally, you know, he couldn't stop crying, and I was like, okay, do so. So now we have got 6 dogs. So what I'm saying is that because
did you get it vaccinated first?
Everything taken care of.
Because the vaccination was
I always do. No, this is another passion of mine.
That's a great one.
So see, that's how kids can associate.
Yeah, for sure. Shireen, what about you?
My childhood was very different from, not like the Pakistani traditional one, of course, but yes, because I lived in KSA, as I said before, and I was living in Medina. Lived in Medina and Riyadh, and Jeddah as well. So living in Medina, and that Eid was really very different. I really miss that.
What a comfortable feeling, you know.
That comfortable feeling, and you know, Arabs, the way they dress up their little girls, the white dresses, it's like you see princes and fairies everywhere walking around. So it's very different. The takbir over there, you know, when the Eid starts, the namaz starts, that's very, very overwhelming.
What about the sacrifice, this particular culture, the way in Pakistan, few people do at home, few people get it done?
No, over there it's not at homes. They don't allow that. So we have slaughterhouses over there. We have slaughterhouses over there. We need to keep the animal over there. You can go and visit it every day.
You can't keep the animal at home?
No, we're not.
Not in the residential area, anywhere?
No, it's not. Because obviously there's the municipal that does not allow the blood flow, and the, you know, they're particular about the cleanness and everything. So we need to get them slaughtered into the slaughterhouses, not at home.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And does anybody have had a tradition of Eid on this Eid? Because we've had that on the Choti Eid, but not on this Eid.
I think some families do that. My
some families do. So I just want to understand, like, how popular is that?
I just get it from my mom and dad anyways. Like, come on, it doesn't matter. I'm your son.
You know, once you get married and you've got kids,
you don't need to give.
You're the one who's giving it away, rather than. But I still get it.
Yeah.
I still get it.
I
also, you know.
I mean, I'll give it as well.
I think even if you're 60, 70 and your parents are alive, I mean, you'll still get love and Eid or anything. That's my point is, no matter how old you are, for your parents, you're gonna be a baby.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
They're gonna give you Eid.
Yeah, this tradition is fun. Obviously, it's a gesture
and especially,
of love.
You know, as kids, we used to wait for certain uncles and aunties that, okay, if they are coming at 3:30, we should not go out anywhere.
So we're gonna
because I know I'm gonna get
nowadays, like when I was a kid, they give me like just 5 rupees note.
5,
was
10,
enough.
50.
10 was enough. Now I know if the kids for today, if you give them something like, no, I don't want that red note anymore. I even want that orange skinish note. They want the 5,000 one. The skin color note.
The blue
Please
note.
give me this one.
Yeah.
No blue, no red.
I want 100 kids.
Yeah, the 100 note is not enough. The red one.
If
no,
somebody would give us
400,
500 rupees, at that time a mother used to take it from us.
I remember
and she was like the Fed Reserve of United States, you know. Once the money goes there, it will never come out.
I'm sure that
there are so many memes
about
about this that all my Eid goes to my mom, so it's better not to
take.
I remember when I used to visit Pakistan sometimes during the Eid holidays. I remember my grandfather, he used to give me at that time, you know, somewhere around in 19s, 10 or 20 rupees?
Yeah.
Same. I used to
Right?
write 5
Those
rupees.
new notes.
And those new notes,
Exactly.
exactly.
They would have a certain smell, remember?
Exactly, yes,
Smell
exactly.
and if you do just like punch them, they will have
Exactly.
like
Yes.
correct the note.
Crispy.
Correct the note.
Crispy notes.
Nothing like them, you know?
Yes,
Honestly, you
but
don't feel like spending them.
Yes,
As if
yes.
you know, they have more value than a regular
I
note.
have had like
exactly.
notes, like I've kept them in my like books for like many years and always
Seriously?
spent them. Yeah, just
I
because
did
they were
that
so
too. I had a
beautiful.
special wallet where I was putting the new notes only.
New notes
Huh.
only.
And they look so good in the wallet.
And just open. Okay, it's a good stuff. Put it back.
Absolutely.
That chemical we love, right?
All right, let's talk a little bit about what you guys do. BAREERA, you're a dentist and a social activist also. What exactly, what sort of like causes are you talking about or standing up for?
Well, I try to keep my activism within the lines of my work.
Okay.
I'm the HOD of dentistry at Capital International Hospital. It's in Islamabad. So what we're doing is basically after Eid, we're hoping to launch a campaign called Fazl-e-Ilahi that's supposed to be sponsored medical work, treatment for battered and abused women and children especially, and people who are non-affording. So
Okay.
I try to keep my activism in line with my profession. It's easier to manage that way.
That's great. That's wonderful.
You guys provide free dental procedures or something?
Emergency dental procedures,
Okay.
yes, ones that are not completely aesthetic but functionally important for
Okay.
a person to eat. So yes, we're hoping to launch that campaign soon, sometime after Eid, and hopefully I'll know more about it and tell you more about
You know,
it.
when we
That's great.
when
That
we
sounds
chew,
wonderful.
which part of our jaw do we actually move?
I don't know.
When we do
The
what?
lower
When we do what?
It's the lower jaw which moves.
That when we speak
yeah.
to
Yes,
Only the
yes.
lower
Lower
jaw,
one.
not the upper jaw.
Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
That's true.
The upper jaw is fixed and
It's
the
like
lower,
the lower
one,
jaw moves.
it has a joint, yeah.
All right. Did you always want to become a dentist?
Well, I wanted to become a dentist when I realized that it was a really good option as compared to the other options that I had. So yeah, then I thought, yeah, I could totally do this. And then once I got into it, I got really into it. And
Okay.
yeah, it became sort of a passion.
Great. How long have you been practicing?
Around roughly 7 years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I
How
hope,
was you?
I hope you haven't had somebody like Mr. Bean as a. Have you seen that
Oh
episode?
yes, absolutely.
this
I
and
see
does
that,
this.
and it makes a lot more sense now, and I find it a lot funnier now.
The molar or the premolar or the incisors and
Yes, that's,
and
that's
canines,
him.
right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
still remember.
Yeah.
I was a good
and the
student. in
ancestors,
science.
There's
I
a-
guess.
There's actually a new
Yeah.
series,
Yeah.
Man versus Bee, on Netflix.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Mr. Bean's just featured, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it nice? Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's like he just goes to a very, very rich household and he
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do. So it's really
And-
funny. I will
and
not
there's
spoil
a-
it for you.
Okay, great.
And there's a bee there.
Atkinson, you know what a
I'll
character
look
this
it
man
into
is, I swear.
Yeah.
Without saying a single word makes the entire world laugh.
I think
Yeah.
Mr. Bean after Charlie Chaplin or those
Yeah,
movies
yeah, yeah.
was an amazing one.
Yeah.
That was just expression. And this man is such a serious character in his own life,
Yes.
real life.
Yes.
But he has a very different
I
world.
think the best thing that I love about his comedy is like even those people that cannot speak or that cannot hear,
Understand.
they have
Yeah.
this-
They do understand.
Yeah,
they
they
can
find
do
it
understand
funny.
and they
Yes.
can laugh.
They laugh
Yes.
at it.
I mean,
yes,
if
that's
we have
true.
to make jokes by verbally saying
And
something.
we need to be so
and the
vocal.
timing
Yeah.
of his
Exactly.
humor
So,
and that comedy
exactly.
is amazing.
Even
Amazing.
humor
And
in
still
general
our kids
has just
do watch them.
deteriorated.
Still,
Exactly.
still our
Not
kids
just
do
kids,
watch
even the
them.
old people.
Even-
still
yeah.
watch
Things
them.
have
I
changed
would-
over a
I
period
would
of
watch it
time. Like,
any
you know,
day.
those
It's the
old
updated versions.
the
coming
updated
up
version
now.
because
Yeah.
you can only laugh or experience or feel that particular mood if you know what it is about, right? For example, if I go back, like for example, as a kid, I remember Alif Noon or 50-50 for that matter.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, those were great days, I'm sure, because we had
Simple
no other
humor and
option.
wonderful.
Like we used to like one pizza
Limited
in Islamabad, that was
options.
the only pizza. Now there's so many pizzas, now you say, oh, that was just like, but you
Just
know.
the ordinary pizza.
Ordinary pizza. So
Yeah.
the cases that with the new comedy, the new trends, I think things have changed over a period of time because now when I show those episodes to my kids, I mean, they won't even understand because they can't relate to those
Yeah.
times. So they're like, what? Why
But
are you
you know,
laughing
That's
on
the
this?
best thing
We could have
about
done a better job.
Mr. Bean. You don't need to relate.
Exactly.
It's the action and the
Every
expression.
age.
Every
For
age.
every age.
And he is the perfect example of action speaks louder than words. And
There
then
you go.
you have Tom and Jerry. They also don't say a word and they
And they're
make
still
laugh
so
everybody.
funny.
And yes, my
Yes.
parents even still
Yeah.
watch them.
Yeah.
My mother
Expressions,
loved those.
everything, yeah.
And like you were saying, what was before and now, things have changed a lot. Even the cartoons nowadays are totally different with stories and vocal, but I think during
Video
our
games are so
times-
different.
Yeah.
They're all about destruction now.
Yeah.
You need to be
Yeah.
careful, especially with the kids.
Yes.
when
Or like you
they're-
can't. You can't be
yeah.
because you know
Yes.
now, especially after this episode
This
of
PUBG
ABS
game was
Yes.
like
in
so
Pakistan.
violent
Yes.
and
You
destroyed
were
so
abroad,
many
I'm
Yes,
sure,
it
at that
does.
time.
childhoods.
We all went through a drama.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, after that, you know, nobody would even care that what kind of studies or what is being taught out there, or you know, people would look at the height of the walls and the security.
And the security.
And then it would decide whether to send your kid there or not. So,
true.
and then, you know, this corona thingy, again, for about a year and a half, kids were inside.
And I think because
They're
of that, the
getting
content
caged.
wasn't monitored.
I think
Work
they're
from
getting
home
caged.
or
They're not
whatever.
getting that
That wasn't
exposure
My
that
kids,
they
when
used
they
to be.
came to Pakistan,
Things have changed, seriously.
that was the only thing I had the really concern. Okay, securities, schools.
There you go.
I was not concerned, honestly, with the studies. I was
Same
like, okay,
here.
the van they go with,
Absolutely.
who is it? I need to get all the details.
Yeah.
The school they were going at, and I need to know everything. Who's coming to pick them? Nobody comes in. You had that fear, you know, after watching that.
Every
LPS
parent had
tragedy
it.
was
That's true.
really a big thing for us.
That's very unfortunate, but that's true. And it instead of getting better, it is getting increasing and increasing and increasing. It's
I hope
nowhere
things do
stopping.
get
Yeah, as
but
kids,
we
I mean,
hope
we were so
will
lucky
stop.
that we could go everywhere.
Yes,
They were
that's true.
our gates were
Like in the
always
street.
open.
We have
Our
those-
childhood
and, you know,
was
we would
full
go
of
and
No,
Yeah.
we had
free.
muhallas and we were like
Yeah.
running around, and now we have societies.
You can't
after
send your
societies.
kid
Yeah.
outside
That is
the door.
primarily
You have
that
that
caging
fear in you.
ourselves.
That
It's like
answers
very
the question,
suffocating.
you know.
And even
now
more digital
Yes.
cages, not even
Digital
just
cages,
physical.
yes, that's true.
So
I think the
Stay home,
Islamabad
stay
is
safe.
the-
That formula.
That has
Yeah.
to be done.
That-
actually,
that became a narrative,
unfortunately.
It
yeah.
is unfortunate.
I
But
think
our streets are
Islamabad
not
is the
safe, so-
only city left which still have those sectors where you can roam around freely.
Yeah, as kids,
But
we
if
used
you
to
go
be
to
out all
Lahore
the
and other
time on
cities,
bicycles,
societies,
and you know, we
and
would
all
be
There was
that.
roaming
so
around,
much of
exploring
extra
places.
curricular
Yeah.
activities at those times,
Yeah.
but now our kids
We
are
don't
just
let our
limited
kids
to
even climb
technologies
the tree now. Oh,
Yes,
गिर जाओगे यार. Let's go.
Maybe
And
we are so
would be like
protective
on the
now.
top.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
it's
even
us, it's not
even
them,
that
maybe
is
it's
not
us.
helpful.
Because it was the
Yeah.
responsibility of that generation, not theirs.
Maybe we were
So
going
maybe
through a
we need to
transition or
look into
something.
ourselves instead of saying that kids are having this.
Absolutely.
And maybe we were more free because of our parents, so that generation
We had
did
more
better
time.
I
There
think
was
over
no
time
internet.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has
As a
evolved.
kid, we had just
Yeah.
one television channel.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
PTV.
We had no
and
gadgets.
it's still
My
here.
mom-
and
My
it's
mom
still
says the
here.
exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh my God, your mom is the. Oh, am I really old?
I didn't mean it like that.
No, but obviously the things change as well.
Yeah.
There are pros and cons about it.
No.
Abdullah, tell us more about your work.
Yeah, so I'm a water scientist of UNESCO. So actually, I'm the first.
What exactly do you mean when you water scientist?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. So just like in doctors, there are different like dentists and cardiologists and other stuff. So I am a water scientist, a specialist in flood risk management.
Okay.
Okay.
And
You need it these days.
Yeah, actually we
Yeah.
needed it
Monsoon
since
days.
1947, but
Exactly.
we
I
never
was just
thought
gonna
about
say
it.
that, yeah.
So yeah, I am the first Pakistani water scientist who graduated from UNESCO in flood risk management degree.
Okay.
There was no one before, so I was the first one with that specific. Because all these guys that are dealing with flood in Pakistan are either water managers or they have a degree in water resource
Somebody from the
management
Met Office.
or like
perhaps.
civil engineering, or they have studied hydrology. But I'm specifically in flood risk management, and in this course I had a semester in Germany, Netherlands, I went to Florida, I went to Spain, and I
wonderful.
went to Slovenia. The program is really, really vast and great because in Germany we studied about the riverine floods. In Netherlands they told us about the coastal
This
floods.
goes to the sea. I mean, they've
Yeah,
built a
then I
wall.
went, yes,
around
then
the
we
city,
went
yeah.
to Florida and we studied about how
Swamps.
to tackle hurricanes.
Oh,
You know, there are a lot of hurricanes every year. Then in
Bay of
Spain, the
Mexico.
problem is with the droughts. They have built so many dams that there's droughts or floods or droughts. So
Two
there's
extremes.
nothing normal. Yes, two extremes because it's like dam and dam at every single inch of it. So that's also excess of everything is bad, so it's not good. And in Slovenia, there's a lot of glaciers. So I studied about the flash flooding and glacial melting. So it was a complete course that a flood risk manager
And
needs to
Pakistan has
be.
everything.
And Pakistan has all these things.
Mashallah.
There you go.
That's the thing. And Pakistan has all these
Yeah.
things. So it is a
It's
blessing.
complicated.
But if
You were a blessing, sir.
Thank you.
That you're in
Do we
Dhaka.
have more of you
Needed.
now? Do we
Sorry?
have more of you now?
More of you.
More water scientists?
More.
now?
We do have, but
Yeah.
in flood risk management, like I said, I'm the first one. But we do have in hydroinformatics, and we have in the water resource.
So you're
and
still the
stuff.
first and only.
Yeah,
right now.
for now I
Oh,
am.
okay.
So it is not easy to get admission in UNESCO, which is the world's largest water institute in Delft.
Yeah.
It's the same city where Dr. Kadir lived and studied. So I am blessed to share the same city. with
He
him.
made an atomic bomb and you can make a hydrogen.
Yeah,
Hydrogen and water put together.
on one condition,
or
if,
extracting or something.
on one condition, if you won't treat me the way you treated him, unfortunately.
This is going to get So you tell us about you.
Okay, me.
So you're teaching here in Pakistan because
no,
you're
I was teaching into different universities basically by profession. I'm a professor. I used to teach in different universities.
You have that kind of a personality.
Thank you.
Doctor, professor.
Thank you so much.
Shireen.
Yeah.
And also a model, like a
No,
sorry, definitely.
Not a model, of course.
The Lankan model, honestly.
Yeah, the Lankan.
Yeah.
So I taught for like 10 years. I'm basically an English instructor. I used to speak Arab speakers English.
Okay.
I'm a TEFL and a CELTA certified. I'm IELTS trainer as well. I taught there for around 10 years.
She's needed in PTV for
Sure. So came to Pakistan. I unfortunately could not teach in Pakistan.
Kyun?
The reason was because we used to be provided with resources over there. Over here, we had to produce resources. And that was so challenging for me. Over there, it's like everything is e-learning.
We are a very demanding nation.
No doubt, Pakistan it is.
We want you to work more harder and harder.
A lot,
to be a better
a lot,
of
actually.
I think that isn't exclusive to your profession. I think that's pretty much everywhere.
I can say the same
yeah.
when I need some data to play
I
with.
could not teach in Pakistan.
They're like, sorry.
I did
you have
teach
to
for
do
like
it
6
yourself.
months into a university, but then I left. I could not. It was like wearing out my. I was getting exhausted by. I could not.
We had
Yeah,
so
no,
many
I know. I've
Lankan
taught at
teachers in school
university here.
also.
Yeah, so
As kids.
it's really challenging. It's true.
And then, fortunately and unfortunately, I should say, I ended up into the development sector of Pakistan.
You're happy there?
A real estate,
Was it better or?
And now I'm the head of the department for one of the private companies
Oh,
here.
wow.
There you go.
That's
Oh,
good.
wonderful.
great.
Are you
Thank
enjoying
you
it?
so much. Thank you.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it. It's
Yeah.
it's something I did not. I used to be like, what is real estate?
Oh, wow.
And then you know, eventually when I started to learn about it, I didn't know that I would be ending up so good in it, and mashallah.
Yeah.
And making more money than being a teacher.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
And not having to make
FBR is listening.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There's nothing. She's just hand to mouth.
You're a foreigner, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm a Pakistani.
No.
passport
don't
holder.
tell them.
Oh, okay. You're here because that's what they can point out, right? Okay, nice one.
So, let's come to you now. Dentistry.
Yes.
Why not MBBS?
Well, one reason is the money, definitely. Like just to
See, these are the doctors these days.
straight
but
up,
it's an issue, of course.
yeah, it is an issue
With
to
the
be fairly
uprising
honest.
inflation,
Why not?
now
Yeah,
I
it's
think
very
so.
hard to
Yeah.
survive.
Like straight up with dentistry, it's like as soon as you graduate, if you develop a certain skill set and you start practicing at a private clinic, you can earn a certain amount. Like the sky is the limit. You can earn as much as you want.
And depends how good you are
Yes.
with your tools.
Yes, skill management is really important. How you deal with the patients, make them comfortable. They have to trust you because dental phobia is like a huge issue.
It is.
It's everywhere. It's
Smile. I think a smile really matters.
Oh yes, definitely. And people are scared to like sit there and put their trust in you and just leave you with their face. And they're like, it's my face,
Yeah.
So it's like the one of the topmost phobias anywhere that people have is a dental phobia, of having someone drill something into your face.
Seriously?
So yes, the amount of people
Because
I
it
get.
hurts also, right?
Well,
Ooh,
it's
that-
anesthetized.
Even if it
they're
isn't
afraid of what
hurting, you
they
can
look like
smell
at the end
that
of the day.
burning,
Yes, you
The-
can smell
the
it. Sometimes you can
grinding,
taste it.
yeah.
You feel the pressure, and they're scared of the anesthetic that is basically an injection to your face. So
right in your gum.
yeah, so it's people are scared. So I think a lot of the work I do is just making people comfortable and making them laugh and
Yeah.
telling them that they can trust me and it's
Yeah.
okay. Everything's gonna
Yeah.
be all right.
You know, after
That's a
those
lot of
injections,
work.
one also
Yeah,
gets a
it's
little tipsy,
90% of the work.
Yeah, actually, that first break of that into the gum is
Yeah.
painful. Actually,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
painful.
There are ways that we can make that less
Less
painful,
painful.
but unfortunately, again, in Pakistan, it's a lot about resources. Sometimes
Yeah.
not all the resources are available here. We have to make do, and of course, the economic situation is affecting everybody. So for us, it's the same. Some things like we
We
can
actually do
obtain
not
and-
go to a dentist till the time we are having a severe pain
We
or
don't
something.
go to the doctor, any
Exactly.
doctor.
But
till it's an
even for a
emergency
dentist, you need to have
situation.
regular visits, so
It's
you
the
should know
culture
what's
here.
going on.
Yeah, another thing that I've noticed a lot in my patients is that a lot of them come to me with the complaint of pain, yes, but I think equally as many come with aesthetic problems because it's also the way we look that we value.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah,
the pain.
yeah, yeah.
So people come, they say, I want my teeth to look brighter, be straighter, be more, in line. So aesthetics really matter
Yeah.
as long as and pain, and especially these days, it's. influencers.
There's so much happening. I mean,
yeah,
I won't say, but
so
you guys are activists here, but you know, we have a certain set of noses now, a certain set of upper lips.
Set of teeth now.
It's like as if so many twins have been born or something.
The Hollywood
this is all
smile. The
credit
Hollywood
goes to you guys, you know.
Yeah. The Hollywood
Make
smile.
everyone
I get
Angelina
that.
Jolie.
Obsession
That's
with,
the
of course,
mission.
The Hollywood smile.
The Hollywood
Yeah,
smile.
it's the perfect smile. And not gonna lie, I use it in my advertisements too. I say, if you want a Hollywood smile, sure.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it
Why
real.
not a Lollywood smile? I mean, you're Pakistanis.
It's a phrase that just
I think
caught on.
we're
I didn't
a lot
make
with
it.
the best, I guess.
true.
Yeah,
I
and
think
it
so.
means
That's
a
the
lot more
reason.
than just that.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that this obsession with artificialness is something that has seeped
Yeah, I
into
tried-
everything that we do.
Yeah, I
now.
try to keep it real. I try
Yeah.
to tell people,
Yeah,
look,
I
this is
understand.
good for you, this
Yeah.
is not. You can't try to bleach your teeth because, you know, these days, influencers, social media, everything's out there. There's so much information. So people get these like tooth tattoos or gemstones
didn't
on
know
their
there were
teeth.
What is
Even
it?
in
That's-
Pakistan?
There
Yeah.
is tooth tattoos.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What's
And,
that?
Yeah,
yes,
there is.
and then so
There-
I
there
try
is.
to
That
tell
is just
people.
I've
imagine.
never heard of that.
Seriously,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've seen a guy, you know, with so many diamonds in his.
Yeah, the tooth piercing.
That's like
and-
quite
What?
Like,
old.
hello.
Yeah.
Maybe in Pakistan.
That's a
it's
turn off.
different.
Like, hello. Oh
So
my
I
God.
tried it- I mean,
Stay
I
away.
guess it's- I mean,
So you were a
people's
tattoo
But
choice.
everybody has
artist
a
as well.
passion, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to tell people to avoid that. Do not try and do. If someone's really insistent and I feel like they want it as part of their personality or it's
Yeah.
a form of expression, then I would tell them, okay, we'll make you a designed, a customized crown or something like that that we can do for
Like
you.
people
Oh wow, have
end
you
up
done
having
something? Have you
horns.
made something like
Yeah,
that?
I
Yes,
mean,
there are lots of
increasing,
once
looking like
in a-
reptile. I mean, these are the, but those are like 0.000. I don't know, God knows how many zeros in 1%.
She's made something interesting.
Yes, I had a patient once that insisted on getting one of his canines a gold crown. I told him that that is very unaesthetic.
Yeah.
We do not do that anymore. The
Yeah.
crowns that we make now are a lot more expensive than a
Yeah.
gold crown. Those
Yeah.
are cheap, but he insisted on making it a certain shade, a size, and a length, and I was like, okay, I'll do that if it means so much to you. I kept warning him
Yeah.
multiple times, but apparently I was one of the few people who agreed to do it for him.
Okay.
And then I actually did, and he was very happy, and I was surprised that he's so happy.
Okay, well, good for him.
The canine,
he's
or
happy
having
about
the
it.
longer canines, you know.
Yeah, I've been asked that
I'm a
too.
wolf.
The vampire look. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did see people doing that actually.
People do that.
People have asked me to do that.
Wow.
Can you do that? I was like, I can, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a good idea. You're not going to look as fierce as you
Yeah.
think.
Even in
look
Africa,
funny.
there are certain tribes that, you know, they practically break and they have those very sharp teeth, right?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen that in documentaries.
I haven't
And they
seen
think
that.
that looks very cool and, you know.
Well, I guess the perception of an understanding of beauty is very relative and different.
People get,
Different
you
from
know,
every
those their
individual,
skins
exactly.
So we can't
changed so they
really
look like
argue
raptors,
with
like,
that.
I think
like alligators.
Now I
There's a tradition
understand
again in Africa.
why Pamela is
The
banning
old
so many
tribes, yeah,
international
yes.
content
Yes.
because people aren't ready to understand that this is fiction and drama. So that's why Pamela
Human
has
mind-
to ban so
I
many
think human
things.
mind is a very, very complicated thing. It can make you do anything, yeah.
Yeah, especially the Pakistani ones.
There's something, you know, in your subconscious and you really want it to be done.
Yeah,
These super rich people, I mean, they go crazy at times.
Yes.
right. Let's also look at Pakistani society and the way things have evolved here, especially the different cultures, how people in Pakistan now view things or understand things. Since I think all of you have had a different perspective in terms of living elsewhere as well, having association with different cultures, you've been to different places. What exactly do you feel now as part of when we talk about Eid and when we talk about what needs to change or how people need to perhaps look at things differently or be better? What does Pakistani people really need to do, like, in your opinion?
As a water scientist, especially we are having this monsoon season going
Yeah.
on, a lot of rainfall. I believe actually that there is a dire need of change in people's attitude. Like she just told us that in KSA there are slaughterhouses. I think we should go towards that
Yeah.
approach because I see a lot of people after they're going to sacrifice their animals, all
They
those
waste
all the
tons and
waste,
tons
tons.
of water.
Yeah,
Smells
to
so
wash
And the
bad.
smell and the dirt.
stench.
and not just the water they're going to waste, all that unnecessary things
parts
that
and
just
the
come
organs
out
of
of
the
the
Yeah.
animal,
ovaries or
yeah.
stuff. They're just going to throw
Dump
it
it,
in,
yeah.
dump it on the
Yeah.
streets, and then there's rain, and they're just going to block this sewerage
sewage
line,
systems.
and then Prime Minister will be angry at Vasa, and they're like, oh, you're not doing your job. How can he do his job if someone has blocked the drainage?
Yeah.
We are 220 million people.
We
One
should be
man cannot
accountable. Yes.
do
For
the
our
job
own
for each
It
and
has
every
to be
single
proper
one.
collective effort.
Even
Various-
God has angels
yeah.
for different things. You know, He's everywhere, but He has angels for different things.
Separate assignments.
Yeah, separate assignments. So now I also see there are those drainage, we say barsati nalas. Their job is to stay empty and clean unless and until there is rain, so that they can collect water and just take it to the river.
So
But what we do, we fill it
decision
with
making.
all
Clog it,
those
yeah.
unnecessary filth of the animals.
Absolutely.
You know,
And
exactly.
then
So right.
And the smell.
Yes.
yes,
On
and the
top.
smell and this water. So there's gonna be a flood. I think if it's gonna rain, it's gonna flood tomorrow, and it
It's
won't
been
be
raining
good.
all
Yeah,
day.
and this Eid will be
Yes.
messed up, and
Yeah.
then people will
Yeah.
complain,
Major
oh,
thing
government is
is-
not doing
Yeah.
anything.
Absolutely.
It's
That's
not about the government.
really
It's about
important.
we should
The
Yes,
do
major
we
thing
do.
is the
Attitude,
eradication
behavior.
of different
Yes.
diseases that have been
Exactly.
Yeah,
spread.
definitely.
Exactly.
Waterborne
After that, all that
diseases.
dirt and
Waterborne
everything.
diseases. And do you
Stuff
know
like that.
1 kilogram of beef is equal to 15,000 liter of water,
Wow.
and 1 kilogram of sheep goat is equal to 10,000 liter of water.
How did
What do you
It is
mean when you
That's
say equal to?
A lot of water.
If
Yeah.
you want to have like the 1 kilogram
Yeah.
meat consumes 15,000 liter of water
over a period
then
of time through
over the period
compound
of his
effect and
life,
everything.
when you see like
Like a
this-
paper
when we
sheet.
check the
I
carbon
understand.
footprint of it,
Yeah.
the water the animal drinks and the crops that takes water to grow, and then the animal eats, and the water to clean
no,
it.
no,
When
I
So
you
you
take
can't go
everything.
against the nature, man.
No, it's
Don't
not the
think
nature. I'm
2D.
talking about. Listen, for
I
1
agree.
kilogram
Yes.
of a healthy meat, you need at least 15,000 liter of water in the system,
Yes.
and we are wasting so much water.
Yeah.
So imagine we're not going to have water scarcity issues for ourselves, for our
If we stop eating
agricultures. We will have
If
livestock
you're
as
just
well.
more
No, I'm not telling you to
careful,
stop eating. I'm
yeah.
saying to not waste water, because 1 kilogram of beef requires 15,000 liter of
And
water.
how much
Right.
for one tissue paper?
I have
Quite a lot.
quite a lot for everything. I think even for butter is like 5,000 liters.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
So
we're
if we
almost
will-
at
so
the
no
end
butter,
of,
no
at
beef.
end of the show. So just quickly also take messages from Shireen and BAREERA. Yes, on this Eid, what would you say needs to be different
This
and
Eid
changed?
is like
Stop eating beef.
Yeah,
Stop eating butter.
No, eat,
Conserve
eat, no,
water.
do eat in portions, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
eat in portions. No overeating.
Yeah.
Take care of your neighbors, and I think we need a lot of patience in ourselves these days. Now,
Absolutely.
I see lots of being not responsible, and enjoy your Eid. Do take care of each other, love each other. That's I think the best message I can.
And whenever you invite Mr. Dole, make sure that his particular steak should not be over 100.
Okay, I'll make sure that. Definitely make sure.
The Kobe,
Thank you
Yes,
very
BAREERA.
much.
I'm sure that consumes more water. Just kidding, right?
Of course.
Anyway, so,
But it
so
does.
you would like to say something?
Yeah, I would like to say that go outside, meet your friends, meet your families. If not on Eid, then when. So please find some time for them, and please do not just store all the meat in your freezers. Give it to the
Yeah.
needy people.
Yeah,
That's the
And
main
maybe
thing.
this time just give them the favorite part that they want, because
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
the people, the one that have the money, we eat all year. Or every day we can go to McDonald's, or we can go to shop and buy our favorite spots and eat. We can eat chest or leg, whatever. So if a needy person, a poor guy, knocks at your door and say, "Can you please give me that special beef or raw or whatever?" Just give him, because that's what God wants you to do, sacrifice your favorite
Absolutely.
love thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, BAREERA.
Well, I just want people to know that when you do consume meat, your teeth need special attention.
Come to me, and this is
So-
my number.
Oh,
And if you
yes,
want to
I
look
was
pretty,
just- I was
I'll
just
fix your lower jaw or your upper jaw.
She can give the golden teeth.
Yeah, well, the idea is that, like we were talking earlier, that meat, when it's cooked in certain ways, it affects different parts of your body. Like if meat is like really tender and it's shreddy and they're threads, they can get stuck in our gums and cause gingivitis.
Always do.
Yeah, and cause an inflammation of your gums. So a really good idea is try to like clean it, like brush it out, just brush twice a day, floss, that's really important.
Yes.
And if you still feel like there's something
Floss I do now.
irritating, yeah, that's good for you. And if you still feel like it's irritating you, then you need to go see a dentist, get it all cleaned
Capital
out.
Hospital,
Yes, definitely.
And go to
HOD,
Miss
Yes,
BAREERA.
Capital International.
Dog Burrito.
Is there any discount for us?
Yes,
For at
definitely.
least for the 5 people.
Oh,
that are-
definitely.
If you want to get a
I-
crown of gold fixed,
Okay.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
Or a diamond.
Thank you very much,
diamond.
Bareera and
Thank you.
Abdullah and Ms.
Thank you
Shireen
very
for
much.
joining us
Thank you
and
so
being
much.
part
Pleasure
of
having
our
you.
show
Thank
and
you very
spending Eid
much.
with us. And
Thank
hope
you
you
so
guys
much.
have wonderful Eid. Well, Faisal, we've had a great time on our
Great.
show, but we're still going to be having more guests on the show as well. And we'll be spending some more quality time with our viewers and guests in VTV. But it's goodbye for our 3 guests right now. And we'll come back for some more.